Hey, welcome to the Fielder and the Fan. This is the Fielder, Adam Rosales.
And I am the fan, Noah Watkins. The one and only, the great one, the amazing one.
Okay, we got it.
Sorry about that. I sometimes get ahead of myself. Hey, Adam, how's it going?
Good, man. I haven't heard from you for a while.
Yeah, it's been, I don't know, it seems like minutes.
Minutes, yeah, that's what people say. Can't get enough of this guy.
Yeah, or as my brother-in-law Jeff likes to say, it's been like 3 minutes underwater.
Oh man, how you been? How's everything?
I'm doing really good. I'm just getting ready to talk to you. I guess I can't think of anything else to say.
All right. So let's talk about ask me about the pro tip.
Oh, so Adam, I think it's about that time that we talk about your pro tip. What do you got for us?
All right, so today the pro tip is, so I'm going to kind of go outside the box right here, and might be for a little bit older kids, and talking about stealing bases a little bit. All right, so for me, I have to face a lot of lefties, so I have to learn how to read when they're going to go home with it, go home with the pitch, or going to come over and pick off. Try to pick me off at first. So you try to concentrate on something, whether it's their head tilt, whether it's their shoulder turn, but you have to first thing, you have to pay attention while somebody else is on base. And this is what you should be talking to your teammates about while you have a teammate on base, is what the pitcher's tendency is doing. Because at a young age, they're going to keep doing the same thing. They're going to one look you and go home, or they're going to two look you and go home, or they're going to, when I was young, they used to say count to UCLA, like count out, or 1, 2, 3, 4. And more often than not, the pitcher always goes at the same time. So going back to me reading left-handed pitchers, I like watching their back foot, because when their toes, the toes of their back foot lift up, that means that they're putting pressure on their heel, which means they're coming over to first base. Now, if they put pressure on their toe, that means that they're going home. So I don't know if you get that visual. You get that visual, Noah?
I do get that visual.
Like if the pressure's on their back heel, their toes come up, and I know they're going to pick me off, so I go back to the bag. If the left-hander's toe points down and kind of digs in like they're going home, that means they're going home, and you take off. So that's one key I pick up on lefties, especially at a young age. In the major leagues, they don't really do that as much anymore. And since we're talking about base running, I would encourage you to be more aggressive than you think. Always try to go first to third, because that's a long throw from the outfield to third base. So, I would encourage you to always go first to third, but make sure you always run with your head up and always see the coach. So that's a little base running background for you youngsters out there.
Well, great, Adam. Well, thank you for that. And as always, it's a pleasure talking to you. I look forward to doing another one of these. And I think we actually may have 2 fans listening this time. So maybe next time we'll have.
I think we're building.
Maybe we'll go for a half a dozen. So
yeah, for sure. We need people to start asking more questions. We need to answer some more questions.
Absolutely. You know what? I can make up a couple of fan questions. Like I get like, hey, Jake from Washington wants to know, Adam, why do baseball players wear jock straps?
I guess that's a serious question, huh, Jake?
Yeah, absolutely.
State Farm or Jake from Washington?
Jake from Washington, which actually I have a buddy named Jake who just moved back to Washington. So he's a real guy. But I asked the question, and actually, that is kind of a question Jake would ask. So, although, yeah.
All right. Well,
here's a serious question about that. Do all Major League Baseball players wear a cup?
No.
Do you wear a cup?
Yes.
I know it's a personal question.
That's not a personal question. I don't know why it's just I mean, you have to. I think some outfielders don't though. The outfielders don't.
Why do you think they decide not to do that?
Because you really, I mean,
it seems like a dangerous.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, for me, it's like a young. Like I didn't like in Mexico. I didn't wear a cup because I played the outfield.
And because you were in Mexico, he just anything goes in Mexico.
Yeah, that's right. So we got.
Okay, well, great.
Hello.
Oh, can you not hear me?
No, I can.
Oh, okay.
Callie, I'll call you back. Okay. Bye.
Oh, look at
that. Yeah, we got my family on the road. Yeah, Mexico. I did not wear a cup because I was playing the outfield. And I just kind of got in the habit of not doing it. So, but then once I go back to the infield, it's like I don't wear a cup during batting practice because I'm a professional, right? But I probably should. But I mean, it's just I know the ball's coming at me. I'm ready for it. There's no bad hops because it's completely groomed. I don't know. Like I don't wear cleats during batting practice either. I just wear turfs.
Does have they? I know at one point they were experimenting with like padded hats for the pitchers that they were kind of like. Are they doing that anymore? Are they? See,
it's all about comfort, man. Like people will give away safety for comfort. I mean, okay, at a major league level, I'm fine with it. Maybe at a professional level too, and coming up to the minor leagues, fine. You don't have to have that much protection because it's your job. Like you're older. It's your responsibility. It's your career. But at a young age, I would always encourage to wear a cup, if pitchers have protection for their heads when they're pitching. Obviously, wear a batting helmet. But
I used to think, yeah, whatever, But man, when I saw, was it McCarthy? Is that his name?
Yeah, Brandon McCarthy. Yeah.
Brandon McCarthy, man. I saw him a few years ago, your teammate, when he got that comebacker coming and crack him in the head. I mean, that was just. I mean, I think. I'm thinking if I'm, when my two sons get older and hopefully they decide they want to play baseball, I'm hoping that there's some sort of protection out there for pitchers. Now,
I'm sure
if they're anything like me, they'll probably be stuck in the outfield and not have to worry about that. But
not if Uncle Adam comes to the rescue.
Yeah, maybe a little pro tips on a regular basis to my two sons, and maybe they'll have a shot at batting like 8th in the lineup rather than 9th like their dad did every time. So ninth out on left field. Actually, I played a significant amount of time in second base and third base, but I hated playing third base because I knew I couldn't make the throw from third to first without a hop or two. I couldn't do it. My arm was just not.
Well, it's fun though. It's fun to make a hop or two though.
I know, but you do it sometimes on a hop or two, but it's not because you can't make it. It's just because you're just trying to get there as fast as possible, and sometimes it gets on a hop or two. Me, I just physically couldn't throw the ball that far.
Well, I should laugh. You're right. I mean,
yeah. Well, it's and I'm sure there's some kids out there who can't do that. I mean, and that's okay. Like I said, I turned out just fine. I didn't end up playing Major League Baseball, but I'm sure you can work on it. And second base, that throws a lot closer. So
yeah, sign up for second base for sure. No, I want to go back to the jock though, really quick.
Hey, that was a fake question. All right, I like it. I mean, that was a total legit question.
Well, I have a funny story that
generated lots of conversation.
I have a funny story that the viewers might, or the listeners, I guess, would appreciate.
The listener.
Yeah, that's a good name for the podcast. The listener, the solo. But
or maybe that's what our fan group will be called. You know, they have the fan groups, the listener. Anyways, I like it.
All right, yeah, you can produce that. So all right, we're in Billings, Montana, and we have to drive. No, actually, sorry, where the heck are we? We're in Casper, Wyoming, and we have to drive to Helena, Montana. This is in the Pioneer League. This is rookie ball. This is like 2 weeks into my professional career. We get to Helena, Montana at 7:30 in the morning. After a long bus ride. I mean, long cramped bus ride. The hotel we show up is the wrong hotel. So we have to go down the street. We have to go down the street to the smaller hotel. And they're not ready for us either. It's like we have to wait another 2 hours to check into the hotel. Meanwhile, they're washing our laundry, right? And we have loops in the minor leagues. You have a loop, you put all your personal belongings on. They don't mark it. They don't put numbers on it. We don't know whose is whose, right? So we all go to bed. We all sleep in till like 4 o'clock that day, 4 o'clock p.m. We wake up. We go to the clubhouse manager's room, and all of our clothes are all separated in darks and whites.
Oh,
They're
no.
off our personal loops, and all of our socks are separated, and because they're white socks and the black stirrups. And what else? Our jock straps are separated too. So we don't know whose is whose. You kind of just look at it like, all right, I had a rip in mine. That's mine. I'll take that one. So we get to the ball field in Helena, Montana, and we're all circled up. And the pitching coach comes in the middle of the circle. He is just frustrated. Can you imagine? Like a 45-year-old pitching coach just got off a long bus trip. Hotel's not ready. Comes into the middle of our stretch circle and screams out, "Who's got my jockstrap?" He was livid, honestly, not even kidding. Oh my god, we're all just young, just out of college, out of high school. We all just start cracking up. But I don't know, just a memorable moment for the jockstrap stories. But
That's a great one, man. I got another question for you. This question is from Noah in Chicago.
Okay.
And Noah from Chicago wants to know if you've heard about Tim Tebow wanting to make a bid to become a Major League Baseball player, and what your thoughts are.
I got interviewed by some young kid, and he asked me about Tim Tebow. I don't even know he was trying to make a bid. And the kid asked me if I think if Tim Tebow can have a major league career. And that's an easy answer for me, and it's no. It's not. It's not going to happen. It's just.
And what's your thought? Your process behind that?
It's too much development, man. Like, okay, football. He was an average football player, right? He made it there. Quarterback, he had a couple good games.
First off, he was above average college player. I mean, he was
player, but I'm talking about NFL. Like his career was pretty short, right?
It was.
But football is a lot. It's very physical. Baseball, the majority of baseball is mental. Knowing what to do before it even happens. No, and for me, the development of the mental side of the game is tough to attain, and that's the main reason why. I just don't think he can deal with the grind. 162 games, 142 even in the minor leagues, taking flights at 5 in the morning. And I know he's a strong individual. I don't take that away from him. I actually like him. I like what he stands for, but to claim that you're going to have a career in Major League Baseball, I don't see it happening.
Well, I think it's him. It's him. It's something he wants to try to do. He's not.
It's like Michael Jordan, right? Like Michael Jordan. It's kind of cool to see him do that, but everybody knew that he can't get past AA. I mean, AA, and that's when it really starts getting like. That's when it starts weeding out like
Well, and I say if he's really willing to put the grind in, and he's
Yeah.
and then he wants to give it a try. He was apparently he was a standout high school player, and
Yeah,
obviously he
man, but
showed
so was
stock.
I. Just kidding.
And you're now a Major League Baseball player. But
I'm just
you
kidding.
know, but here's the thing. I will tell you this, though, Adam, is you were a heck of an athlete, and
Right,
I
yeah.
still believe this. I believe that if you had had a passion for another sport, I think that you could have succeeded at that other sport. But your
Ah,
real passion was a baseball. I mean, yeah, maybe not. Maybe you weren't tall enough for basketball, but I mean, if it was football, it'd be I mean, I always thought you could have been a fantastic wide receiver in football, but nothing you ever pursued. I mean, I think you were an athlete, right? And you were. I mean, I think that you were born to be a professional athlete, and I think there's a lot of guys like that. And so, I mean, obviously, there's been guys who've been able to do both. I mean, Bo knows you know, football, football, baseball player. I mean, I think that there's some other guys who have done it, and I think that I don't know. I think if he's got the drive to make it happen, I, who's to say he can't do it? I mean, I think there's also some of the um, there's been some great athletes who've had to choose what sport they were going to do.
I mean, you think about like Bo Jackson and
Well, that's what I said. Bo
Deion
knows.
Sanders,
Remember the Bo knows commercials?
right? Yeah, I mean, those guys did it. Those guys played in the big leagues,
Yeah,
but man, bro, that's a different animal.
I'm just saying. I know. I'm just saying. Heck of an
All
athlete.
right, you
I
take
think
your stand. I'm saying no.
I'm saying there. I'm saying that it's not likely, but there's. I think there's a chance. Is all I'm saying. I mean, you know, um, Danny Ainge. He started off as a baseball player. He was actually a minor leaguer, but he chose to pursue basketball instead. I think that was a good decision for him. He ended up being
Yeah,
a pretty good basketball player, and has made a heck of a career as one of the best GMs in the game now. But I don't know. I think I've seen these guys who I feel like are just athletes, and he whatever reason he didn't make it in the NFL, whatever. But man, he is an athlete, man. And I think you're right. I mean, there's timing. I mean, baseball like is so much about timing and all that. And if he's really willing to I think if he puts in his mind like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna try out and so because I think somebody's gonna give him a a single A contract. Someone's gonna let him play a little minor league ball, right? Like why wouldn't they, right? But I think if he's willing to really grind it out and say, and not just be like, okay, well, I'm going to give this a year, and then if they don't promote me to the major leagues, I'm done. I mean, I think I think he has no shot. But if he says, you know what, this is something I really want to do, and he gives it a 4 to 5 year, strong commitment, I don't see why. I'm not saying that he's good because I don't know.
I don't think he has 4 or 5 years. How old is he? He's got to be my age, 33, right?
No, he's no. He's he's like 28, I think.
But still 28. No, like they're looking at like that's 5 years. You're talking about. Yeah, he'd be my age then, just breaking into the big leagues. I mean, yeah, I mean,
it happens. Hey, guys breaking the big leagues at that age, it's happened. I don't know. I've never seen the guy. I've never seen the guy. I don't even know what position he's going for. I'm just saying. I think it's fascinating to me. It's fascinating. Conversation about professional athletes because I'm so impressed with the professional athletes and my dad always says that he used to play in a church basketball league and Jim McMahon, his wife was a member of our of the church that we belong to, and he actually was on their church basketball team. And my Uncle Barry was the coach. My dad was one of the players, and they said Jim McMahon, he was just. I mean, they said he was an amazing point guard. They said he could have been a point guard on any NBA team. He was such an amazing athlete. So, anyways, we'll see. We'll have this conversation in a couple of years, and we'll be like, wow, I can't believe that we thought that was a possibility or didn't think it was a possibility. But I think you're going to be saying, Noah, you are so smart. You are such an amazing person for your foresight into the future, knowing that this was a possibility and not counting it out. So, but you're not upset. There was a couple players who were upset. They thought it was a slap in the face that he was even considering it.
Nah, I wouldn't be upset. I don't see it happening.
Okay. All right. Well,
because I know, like, I don't know.
Well, we wish you luck, Tim. If you happen to be one of the listener, he could be our one listener. If you just know that I'm rooting for you, and Adam is not. He's just a jerk like that. All right. Well, I've had enough fun for one night. Adam, it's always been a pleasure. It's always a pleasure. I don't know what I just said there, but it's always a pleasure. And I'm out.